Hi guys, welcome back to LPB Racing for the BTCC support race series on Project Cars 2. This is round 3 from Oulton Park Island circuit, the first race in the Ginetta Juniors. Let's take you through the grid then. So it is Video on pole position, and alongside him we've got Blakeney. Then it's Johnny McMullen third on the grid with Keith fourth. Neil next to him, his teammate, the good old boys, in fifth. Then it's Bradders, and then it's George, NRP, Stevie, and then Bidzster is last on the grid. So let's get on with the race then, guys. Here we go at Oulton Park. Lights out and we're off, and it's a good start from Bradders and Neil. Johnny McMullen a bit bogged down, so's Keith as we go down towards Old Hall, the first corner. And it's Video who's going to take the lead here. Video takes the lead around the outside of Blakeney there, and he goes a bit wide out the corner but gets away with it. Meanwhile, back in the pack we've got Neil Farmack and Keith together as well. We've got contact near the back. Bradders and Stevie, I think, make a bit of contact near the back of the field as we go into Cascades, and Johnny McMullen's off. Johnny McMullen's off. You'll see him on the right hand side of the picture. You'll see the signs flying there. He's off track. There he goes. He rejoins. Possible contact with Blakeney, I think, but we're all good so far as we go down towards the hairpin then. Everyone nicely. Oh, Neil Farmack just trying to stop the car. Further up we've got Keith and a few others get close together as well. Stevie running wide there. Johnny McMullen around the outside of a few people. In fact, he's gone right back up to places there. He's now on the inside of Keith, heading down towards the chicane as Keith giving the squeeze, and then we've got Neil alongside someone else as well, but Keith holds on to it. Johnny McMullen then goes back to the other side, and Keith's got the racing line here. Johnny trying to force the issue there, and bang bang again hits Keith off, and then Keith goes off the track, so it bullies Keith off the track there, Johnny. So it wasn't really a gap there at all, and he just decided to try and make one, and Johnny McMullen then goes into 6th place rather abruptly, and Keith goes back down to last place there. So Keith well and truly bullied there. We'll get some different angles on that after we've done the first lap, but so far it is Blakeney in the lead of the race then from Neil, and NRP and Video have gone back down the order a little bit there, so they've gone back further down. Video having a little look at oh, the camera's gone funny there. We'll just go straight to an onboard. There we are. Video going through Lodge Corner there with Stevie and Video and George closing up as well. So we'll go back to the trackside cameras now if they start working properly. There we go. Stevie at the back of this pack there. Bidzster's approaching this pack as well. So George up the inside into 4th place on Video. Stevie with Bidzster on his outside. Bidzster goes round the outside of him, and then Johnny comes across and hits Video off, I think. So the more contact that involves Johnny McMullen there, and they're off around the back of the circuit. Advertising boards flying everywhere. Keith, and then we've got Bradders coming up to the back of this as well. So incredible scenes here at Oulton Park. Plenty of action to be taken in. Let's get some replays on all that action up to then for you now. Here's a replay of Bobby Neal. So there was slight contact between the two teammates, but that's not what we're watching here. Johnny and Blake head. Blake actually gives Johnny a bit of a squeeze there onto the grass, and then into the next corner we go, and they both just come across onto each other, and then that means Johnny goes wide, so 2 into 1 doesn't go, and Johnny then unfortunately goes back down a few places. Okay, now here's a replay of Bobby Stevie. So watch the car behind there, green one's Keith. And you'll see Johnny appear there, gets a good run out the corner, takes Stevie, and then gets a good run alongside Keith, but Keith is giving him a bit of a squeeze there. I'm not even sure if he knows that Johnny's there. And then now he does after the contact, I think. Yeah, he realises just about now he's on the grass. So Johnny then tries to retaliate around the outside to get the inside for the next corner, but he's not actually alongside, and Keith can't do anything but turn in, and then Johnny just goes for a gap that isn't there and bullies Keith off, and Keith then ends up spinning off behind us. Okay, here's a look at the second incident with Johnny on board with Bidzster. So look, we go into the corner, Video goes off, but then if you look, Johnny actually hits the back of the car in front and then goes across and takes Video off, so it wasn't actually intentional. We'll get another angle on that. Okay, here's an onboard from Johnny himself into the Old Hall. So into Old Hall we go. Video there goes really wide. Then we actually get a good run. We actually get that much of a good run. We hit Blake, and then that leaves us a bit out of control, and we hit Video off, and then we resume. But that wasn't Johnny's fault really. That was just carrying too much speed and not able to slow down. As we come back from that then, Neil right behind Blakeney out of the hairpin, and we've got a few more cars battling into the hairpin there, and Bidzster's emerged in 4th. Bidzster's got into the hairpin in 6th and come out 4th. Incredible. So Bidzster makes up more positions there, so I don't know how we passed 2 cars in one go there. We'll get a replay on that. As we come back from that, Neil and Blake close into the Knickerbrook chicane, but no way through as Bidzster and NRP close up, Stevie and George as well. So Bidzster making progress in this race then. There he is in the blue Stradstone car. Blake's off the road! Blake's off the road! Trying to get a camera on him. Come on, cameras. There we go, he's back on the road and gets on the power. Gets on the power again, has lost it. Oh, now he's going to hit Bradders! Bradders hits him up the rear end, couldn't avoid him there. Blakey could not make up his mind up where we were going. Too much wheel spin everywhere, and then eventually gets going again. But how he ended up there in the first place, I do not know. And Keith comes straight through the middle. Pardon me, boys. Pardon me, excuse me, coming through. And contact there as well. So really close stuff here as NRP and Bidzster, I think, are side by side. As Bidzster gets up the inside of NRP into Lodge as well. So another great move there by Bidzster. And we'll get some replays on that action for you as well now. Okay, here's an onboard with Neil then into Knickerbrook. So Blakey gets the head around the outside and then out of this corner. Watch the red car in front, goes towards the curb on the outside, takes a bit of curb there, and then loses it on that curb as well, and then goes straight round into the barrier and then has to rejoin, and then has a bit of a problem rejoining. There he's trying to recover onto the track, then all of a sudden moves back across, let video go through, loses control of the car again, and poor old Bradders has nowhere to go. Hits Blake in the air, and then if you look from Keith's view, going up the hill, he's got two cars there. Please don't come across, boys, and straight through the middle of the sandwich like a boss. And just after those incidents, we saw Bidzster here going up the inside of NRP into Lodge. A perfect out-braking manoeuvre. Good move there by Bidzster, which puts him into second place, and now chasing down Neil. So as we come back from that then, it is NRP in third position there. Bidzster moves himself up into second as we've just seen there. Stevie then right behind NRP down towards Cascades. Stevie in the white car behind NRP in the black and orange car there. Into Cascades we go. NRP doesn't get a good run out the corner though. Stevie's going to close up here down towards the hairpin. This could be Stevie's chance to get a pass done, but again it's a bit further, it's a bit far back. Well, no, that's never stopped Stevie in the past. Oh yes, there we go. Straight up the inside. NRP gives him an acre of room. And he carries that much. NRP carries that much speed into the corner. He can't do a switchback. So a good move there by Stevie. And into third place he goes. NRP back on the attack though. Stevie going to attack down the hill. As NRP starts flashing the lights at Stevie there. Just a bit of a tactic out of Bidzster's playbook that. Goes over the curb, knocking the markers off. So we're going to be careful of the track limits here as well. As George closes up to the back of these boys as well. Up the hill. Up Clay Hill towards Water Tower and Druids. Neil is being hampered now by Bidzster in the blue car there. Bidzster right behind Neil in towards Druids. Neil goes a bit wider into the corner, carries a bit too much speed. Bidzster carries good speed on the exit, goes straight to the inside, uses the speed, propels himself down the hill. He's on the inside for Lodge now to take the lead of the race. Bidzster on the inside. Close together under braking, almost mirror to mirror, and Bidzster gets through on the inside, takes the lead from Neil Farmack, and up over the deal leap, over the line, little flash there, little flash of the rear lights there to say thank you to Neil, and straight through into the lead of the race. Meanwhile, we've got NRP under pressure from George, and Johnny McMullen is back on the pack after those incidents on the first few laps. He's back up, and he's up the inside of George there. Oh, bang! Hits George off the track, hits him to pass. Not a good move there by Johnny again, and goes down the hill, and Johnny there clearly hitting George through the corner, and he's already thinking about attacking NRP, so he's got no desire to let George back through after that. That was a pretty poor move really, and Johnny going around the outside. So Johnny, not the cleanest driver that we've got at the minute, but hopefully he can improve his cleanliness as he goes with the group, and then moves across in the braking zone. Moves across in the braking zone, and NRP hits the back of him. So he really needs to learn how to race, Johnny McMullen. He passed the assessments okay, but this is not what we expect from the Formula Ford champion. So Johnny then moving across in the braking zone, taking other cars off. We'll just get some replays on that action for you now. Okay, here's the onboard then, on board with Johnny McMullen to have a look at these incidents then. Into Old Hall we go, with George ahead, and then into the corner we go. And George goes wide, we go the inside, good move there, but we just come across, bang, hit him off, and then we don't even think about slowing down to let him back through. George will have have as much red mist as his car is red, and then Johnny just keeps going to attack NRP. So now we'll go on board with NRP as Johnny gets a good move here, which is good, that's fine. But then if you look on board here, so he just gets through, and he's not even through yet, and now he just comes across while he brakes, straight across, doesn't leave us any room into the corner whatsoever, and just blocks in front of NRP, and that will not go down well with the stewards. He will get penalties for that for definite. So as we come back from the Johnny McMullen crash fest, it is Bidzster in the lead of the race from Neil Farmack, 1 second behind him. Still not a big gap yet though. As we look further back, we've got George off, or George has gone off the track there, so it must be red mist from the move that Johnny did earlier, and he goes up the hill. We've got Bradders and Blake close at the back, so Blake goes from the front of the grid to the back of the grid. So Blake not having a good race here. They go into the chicane. Bradders takes a bit of a wide line there, goes a bit too deep into the corner. Blake trying to close upon the exit, but nothing can be done just yet. So Blake and Bradders battling out for the last few positions in this race. As we look at them up the hill, not just the closest battle on track at the minute is this one, so we'll just stick with this for now. Blakeney then trying to close up into Druids. Bradders takes a defensive line into Druids. Doesn't really need to defend that much into the corner, but he defends anyway. Blakeney will probably get a better run down the hill. He's closing a little bit, but he's not closing up at the pace he needs to sort of put the car in position for an overtake. Into Lodge Corner we go, and he's still having a try though, just sticking the car down the inside. That's more to put Bradders off, and it works. Puts Bradders off, and Bradders comes back. He's lagging like hell. And he takes Blakeney off and hits him, and hits Blake with lag there. And Blake goes back and has to reset. So not good there from Bradders, but that wasn't his fault. That was his connection. Bit of lag, and Blakeney's now right back down in 10th position. So meanwhile, back to the leaders then. Stevie is in 3rd there. Johnny McMullen's up to 4th, obviously, after doing the hip and shoulder on George and trying to move across in the braking zone on NRP. So I would imagine Johnny McMullen will have a few penalties coming his way after this race. So we have got a new penalty system in order now. So if you there's a minor penalty and a major penalty, and then it goes to an extreme penalty. So a minor penalty can be anything between 1 and 3 places lost, demoted, and then we've got major penalty, which is anything from 4 to 6 places lost, and then demoted, should I say. And then we've got extreme penalties, which is anything from 7 to 9 places demoted in the race. And then we've got a DQ, clean DQ, if someone was too dirty or they accumulate too many of the minor or major or extreme penalties. So hopefully that'll make sense to people. So we've got a minor penalty for something small, major for something a bit bigger, and extreme for if it was really, really bad. And then obviously we've got straight DQ if things do get too bad. Because we are a clean racing group, we do want to keep the racing as clean as we can while having the best of fun that we can. And I think I speak for everyone in LPB racing when we are enjoying these races. Yes, they are a bit, there are a few crashes now and again, but usually the people that do it, they'll let the person back through, or they'll acknowledge that they've done wrong, and they'll take it on the chin and move on. So that's what we do here at LPB Racing. It's all about fun and being fair and clean, and it's really enjoyable for all. As we go down to the hairpin, and with Stevie still trying to catch Neil here, so the top 4 still just trying to trump each other on pace here. Not really anyone that's closing up to anyone in particular very fast. As we look back at George, and Video's trying to close him down as well, so George being closed down by Video in the background. We've still got Bradders and Blakeney having a good battle back here, but Bradders obviously ahead of Blake after that lag incident, but that wasn't really Blakeney's or Bradders' fault really. It was just Bradders' internet, and Blake was in the wrong place at the wrong time when the connection decided to reconnect. So one of those things, unfortunately. But Bidzster then 2.8 seconds ahead, leading the way, doing a really good job here over the top of the hill, over the top of Clay Hill, into the little water tower bend, and then into Druids, the left-hander, the double apex. There's plenty of curb there for Bidzster, plenty of confidence in this car then. There's Neil, not quite as much curb for him, and then Stevie will follow him through as well. We've got Johnny McMullen, he's actually now closing up to the back of Stevie here, so we could see some more drama from Johnny McMullen in this race yet. So he's closing up to the back of Stevie. I'll take my hat off to him. He has got some good pace. He just needs to practice his wheel to wheel and not be as aggressive. But the overall pace is there, and it's good to see. As we go across the line, Stevie then and Johnny, 7/10 between them over the line. So Johnny definitely closing in the gap. It was 1.3 or something the last lap. So Johnny definitely closing in. Lap times wise, 1:43.9 for Johnny, 1:44.8 for Stevie. So the lap times do the talking here. And Biz is on the 1:43.5s in the lead. So Biz is in another league of his own. He's got about another 4/10 on these guys. So really pulling out the stops here, Bidzster, in this 8-lap Ginetta Junior race here at Oulton Park. Meanwhile, so we've got Johnny closing up on Stevie here. He'll not go for a move into here, he's not close enough yet. Will Stevie get a good line into the corner? Yes, he does. And out the corner we go, up the hill. Meanwhile, we've got Video and NRP close to each other as well, so Video's fallen back behind NRP, so NRP closes up to Video and passes him, and Video now looking to counteract and try and get past. NRP defends the inside in the black and orange car, just defends a little bit. Video backs off into the corner, so Video the American not doing bad here on project cars, and gets the power on out the hairpin and goes up the hill. Meanwhile, Stevie's off! Stevie's off! Was the contact or was that on his own? We don't know, but he's off. He's down to 4th. He's rejoining. He'll definitely rejoin in 4th, but down to 4th goes Stevie and up to 3rd goes Johnny, so replay needed. Okay, here's the replay what happened to Stevie then. So he goes a bit deep into the chicane anyway, then hits the grass on the exit there and spins himself round in front of Johnny, so it was his own fault just to tap the grass, and then he rejoins. So as we come back from that then, Stevie recovers up Clay Hill after spinning out on his own there, and Stevie carries on down to Druids, and that's not helped his championship chances at all. It's not really helped anything really, because he's spun out, lost a place, and he's lost a big gap to the leaders as well, so he can't capitalise on mistakes now. So looks like Stevie's set for a definite 4th place. Meanwhile, NRP and Video still close together. NRP still holds on to 6th place, and Video behind in 7th. Two of the nicest guys that have just recently joined LPB Racing. It's a pleasure to have them, and it's a pleasure to be commentating on races with them in as well. So good to have you boys, and let's hope we can make LPB Racing even better while you guys are here. As we go back to Johnny McMullen then, Captain Crash in this race. 3rd place, he's got the pace to try and catch Neil. Let's see if we can catch and pass him on this last lap of the race. Last lap of the race now for Bidzster on his last lap. Neil and Johnny 2nd and 3rd. Johnny closing up to Neil here, so you can see visibly the gap coming down, and out the corner we go, up the hill. We've still got to close in about just under a second on him in half a lap, so it's going to be hard to do. We'll see if he can do it. There's meanwhile Video and NRP coming down towards the hairpin then. They're close together onto the brakes, both on the brakes at the same time. NRP possibly a bit hot into the corner, Video definitely a bit hot into the corner, but he wants to run out the corner more importantly to get a good run up the hill. But again, he's not really got the run he needs to get properly alongside down towards the next corner, so just a gap a bit too big at the moment. Meanwhile, back to Neil Farmack in 2nd place, still trying to hold off Johnny. 2 corners to go for Neil Farmack to hold off Johnny for a 2nd place finish, and Bidzster looks like he's going to take another race win this season as well. Down towards Lodge we go for the last time. Bidzster's already down there. Neil and Johnny approaching. Johnny's going to have to go for a lunge if he's going to go for it. He's going to have to brake really late, and he does, he tries, but looks like Neil's going to hold on to it. But in front, Bidzster comes over Deal Eapen to win to the Ginetta Junior race. Well done to Bidzster, flashes lights, he's happy with that. Neil 2nd, Johnny in 3rd in the background there. They cross the line 2nd and 3rd. Stevie's round here somewhere, he's going to cross the line in 4th place. There he is, Stevie coming over the line there in 4th position for Stevie, well done to him. George is going to be 5th. Over the line, there he goes, up the hill. There he goes, and NRP is going to keep Video back for a good 6th place there, with Video in 7th place behind him. And then we've got Keith coming down the road here. There he is, Keith in the green car there. He's going to come over the line for 8th place in this race. Not a bad race for Keith, but again, a bit bullied at first, so we'll see what penalties happen there. Blakeney comes over the line in 9th, and Bradders will round off the 10 further back. He's just coming out of the Lodge corner now. So we'll just get those results confirmed for you now, guys. Okay guys, here's the results from that then. So Bidzster takes a victory in that race. Well done to Bidzster. Neil is 2nd. Now Johnny McMullen gets penalties after those incidents and goes back down to 8th place. So it's then Stevie in 3rd, George in 4th, then it's NRP 5th, Video 6th, and then Keith in 7th, and Johnny McMullen will be 8th. Then it's Blakeney in 9th, and Bradders rounds off the 10. So as we come back from that then, of those change of results, it is Bidzster who wins the race. Well done to Bidzster, he wins the race. And we will see you guys next time for the Formula Ford race here at Oulton Park. Take care, guys.